Welcome back to the Clarity Convos for Wedding Pros podcast. I'm your host, Aislinn. I was a luxury wedding photographer for 13 years, and now I'm an intuitive business coach. And what that means is I help women in the wedding industry make more money in their business and really make their businesses feel good. I'm so excited to have you here, whether this is your first time listening to the podcast, hello, welcome, or you've been here since the beginning. Thank you guys so much for coming back. I'm excited to get into today's topic because it is something that I've been asked about a lot. So today we're going to be talking about creating your first course or your first coaching offer as a wedding professional. So let's get into it. I hear that you want to make more money in your wedding business. And I freaking love that for you. This episode is going to be absolutely impactful for you and packed full of value. And the thing is that I've helped so many wedding professionals over the years make more money in their businesses. And there's so many different ways that you can make more money in your business. But today we're going to be talking about creating your first course or your first coaching offer, which are some of my favorite ways to add more money to a wedding business. So I want to start with a couple of key mistakes that I see wedding professionals making when it comes to creating courses or coaching offers. And I think that you are going to find these really interesting because I have witnessed this quite a bit. And I'm hoping that you're listening to this and you're like, oh, okay, so I won't do it that way. And if you have done any of these and you're like, hey, I feel super called out, that is totally fine. These are not irreparable mistakes. They're just mistakes that I see when you could be doing things in an easier way. So let's start here. Mistake number one that I see wedding professionals making when they are creating coaching offers or their very first course is they will spend over a year creating one course with literally everything in the kitchen sink included, everything they've ever learned about business, everything they've ever learned about clients, everything they've ever learned about marketing, all the different things, instead of trying to solve one specific problem for their ideal client. They give everything in the kitchen sink instead of trying to solve one specific problem. So for example, I see this a lot. A lot of wedding professionals will come out with a business course for wedding photographers. This is an all-inclusive, super huge course. And of course, it's going to take you a really long time to create it because there's so much that you've learned as a business owner that you want to put in this course. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to draw back a little bit and try to just think about one specific problem that you can solve for your ideal client. So an example of this could be level up your sales program. So you could do a group program or a self-paced course about leveling up your sales that is solving one specific problem instead of trying to do an entire business course specifically for wedding professionals. Another example of this that you could do instead of doing everything in the kitchen sink type of offer is you could do something like how to create more money in your wedding business through album sales. That's a very specific thing that you can teach, or in-person sales. You could also just do like an in-person sales program. That's a very specific thing you can teach. And it is a very specific problem that people have that they will start to associate. Oh, that person has an amazing program around in-person sales. That's the course that I want to take because that's the thing that I want to learn. So that's mistake number one that I see wedding professionals making is they spend a really long time creating a very huge course that no one is ever going to finish. First off, no one's ever going to finish it. Like, I don't know about you, but I have seen so many courses go to the course graveyard because they just never get finished. And I don't want your course or coaching offer to be that way. I want people to be absolutely enamored with your course and they want to go through the entire thing. So the mistake is that people put everything that they possibly learned into one course. I want you to solve one specific problem with your course. All right. The second mistake that I see wedding professionals making is that they think that they have to offer one-on-one coaching. I'm going to preface this by saying you can absolutely offer one-on-one coaching. However, what I see happen so often is people think I need extra revenue streams for the off season because I haven't built out the structure and stability in my business that I have money coming in every single month. Okay, I need to have one-on-one coaching. All right, I'm going to price it at 5 hours of coaching with me for $150. And they also get all of my blueprints and emails and everything that I've ever learned. And it's all $150. This is going to be so difficult because I see so many people do this, and it frustrates me so much because I know that you can be making a lot more money and not trading your time for pennies. But because of the wedding industry and the service industry that we are in, it's very easy to make this mistake. So if you're thinking about offering one-on-one coaching, I want you to think about, am I going to price this in a way that it makes sense for me to trade my time being somewhere for this money? And then also think about, do I even want to do one-on-one coaching? Do I actually get something out of being across the table from someone or being on a phone call with someone? Or could I opt to do something else? Maybe I could do group programs, or I could do master classes or workshops, or sell a structured one-on-one coaching offer. There are a lot of different ways to do coaching, and it's not just one-on-one, and it's specifically not just one-on-one at a super, super low price. So, mistake number 3 that I see wedding professionals making around coaching and around offers and course creation is that they sell only one digital product. A lot of people want passive income, which I absolutely think is amazing. And I love that for you. I recommend that if you're thinking about having passive income through digital products, that you do something like setting up an educational store. So I did this when I first was introducing education into my wedding business, as I had an educational shop and I used Shopify at the time. And then I switched it over to Kajabi, which is a different platform. And when I was doing this, I had multiple different things in my shop that people could buy. And I had multiple different ways and funnels that people were coming to my shop that they were finding me. So instead of it just being, I have one item that you can buy, it was like I had 5 items that you could buy, and they all solved different problems. So if you want to have passive income, meaning like a digital product or an ebook or something like that, I recommend that you make a couple of things. So I had templates, like I had website templates, and they were very specific website templates. They were for some of the different pages that I had in Show It, which was my website at the time. So I had like a process document, I had a minimum investment guide. There were a couple other ones, and they were all templates for that. And then I also had email templates. And I also had, I believe I had a self-paced course at the time in there. And then I had a couple other like worksheet templates that I had created. So if somebody came to my shop and they just wanted this website template, they could just buy that. Or if they just wanted the, self-paced course, they could buy that. So one of the ways that I had a lot of traffic was I was creating blog posts around each of these different products that I had. And then I used Pinterest to drive traffic to my shop. And then you can also, this is like an extra little thing that I hope you listen to and you're like, oh, that's so smart. You can have upsells on the back end for higher priced offers like coaching or a self-paced course. So like, let's say like you're selling an email template package and it's a PDF. When the client is going into the shop to actually buy it, on the like checkout page, you can have an upsell for, a 30-minute call with you or something like that. So I hope that you like see that there are so many ways that you can make money in your business, but there are so many mistakes that I'm seeing people make that really limit the amount of money that you can actually make, or it's giving away your time for basically free. I help my wedding professional clients create more money makers in their business by focusing first on 2 things. We're going to focus on the how, and we're going to focus on the why. How do you want to make money? How do you want to make extra money in your wedding business? Do you want to do one-on-one coaching? Do you want to have passive digital products? Do you want to create live group programs? And the second thing you need to focus on is why? Why? Why do I want to add a course or coaching? Is it because I want more freedom? Is it because at some point I'd like to retire from weddings? Is it that you need a creative passion project? What does this do for you? Why do you want to create this? If you want to create your very first course, there's a couple things you're going to need to know. You're going to need to know how to create your offers. You're going to need to know how to sell them and launch them. You're going to need to clean up your money mindset. You're going to need to know about offer suites and product suites and what it looks like to have a product suite that makes sense. You're going to need to know how to create space in your business for these new money makers. And you're going to need to know about client journey. These are just a few things that you're going to need to know about when you're creating your first course. And the thing is, like, I can't cover all of this in one episode because it would be so much. We'd be here for like literally hours. And I don't think you guys have like literally hours to listen to me talk on a podcast. But I do help wedding professionals just like you build additional money makers in their businesses and master their mindset in my signature course, Success Accelerator program. You guys hear me talk about this all the time. My signature course teaches and talks about these different topics when you're wanting to add additional revenue streams to your business. And since I can't teach you everything I teach my clients in SAP in one episode, let's just focus on one thing, okay? Let's just focus on one thing today that you guys can take action steps towards from this podcast episode. And that one thing is deciding exactly what you want to create. So if you're not driving, you guys can close your eyes. But if you're driving, please, please, please do not close your eyes. But I just want you to imagine yourself in a year from now. Imagine yourself in 1 year from now. You've launched something. Maybe it's a live course. Maybe it's a one-on-one coaching program. Maybe it's a self-paced course that the clients can go through at their own pace. Maybe it's a live workshop. I really want you to just get into this mindset and think about, what does it look like for you? What does that version of you in a year from now who has already created the thing, whatever the thing is, what do they know that you need to know right now? And please hear me when I say this. You can't get it wrong. I see this so often from wedding professionals who are just so afraid of choosing wrong. If I choose to make a course, what if I should have done a coaching offer instead? If I choose to go one-on-one, what if I should have made a course instead? I want you to let it go. Let that go. You cannot choose wrong. What you're doing by saying that there is a right choice and a wrong choice in this is you're delaying action. You are keeping yourself stagnant where you are. If you choose, you're not choosing wrong. So make a decision. I want you to listen to this podcast episode and I want you to make a decision. What is it that you want to create? Ignoring what other people want you to create, ignoring what you think you're supposed to create, ignoring what society says you're supposed to create or what the industry says you're supposed to create. What do you actually want to create? I want you to just sit in that for a second. What do you actually want to create? How do you actually want to help people? All right. Do you have it? Do you have that in your brain for a second there? Have you like kind of thought about like, oh, I think I want to create this. Now I want you to think about the structure of that offer. How do you want to actually deliver that to your clients? What would it look like? What would it actually look like day to day to have whatever this moneymaker is in your wedding business? Is there anything you need to shift right now in order to make space for that? We go into so much more detail when I'm working with you in my coaching offers or in my programs, but this is the basics of what it takes to create your first course or your coaching offer. You're going to have to create the offer. You're going to have to launch it. And you're going to have to create massive value in multiple spaces around that offer. And when I say massive value, I mean massive free value. So you can do this on your Instagram. You can do this on Pinterest. You can do this in blog posts. You can do this in Instagram lives. You can do this at networking. There's so many different ways that you can do this, but you have to create value around it. Otherwise, people won't know about it. And something I really want you guys to like think about as well is that your offers get to evolve over time. So I used to offer a very unstructured coaching calls when I was first starting to like offer coaching in my business. And I offered them for so cheap. It was so cheap to work with me. And I don't think my clients got nearly as much as when I started to be more intentional with the offer I had created. So eventually what I did was I created a curriculum and I sold my one-to-one coaching as a structured 3-month program. And my clients got so much out of it that later that 3-month curriculum ended up becoming my signature program, SAP. So I want you to see that your offers can evolve and change over time, and even the structure of them can change over time. I'm actually so excited because SAP is getting a huge restructure, and I'm going to be giving even more support to my clients in that program. And I'm so excited about that. And I'm evolving, and you get to evolve. Your offer suite is only going to evolve if you get started. In a year from now, are you still going to be sitting here going like, oh, I'd really love to make my first course. I'd really love to offer coaching. Or will you have already launched something at that point? Once you've decided on your offer, you actually have to go and sell it. That's the thing, is like you could have an entire Google Doc of amazing offers that you want to create. And maybe you've even created them, but you've never sold them. Once you have decided on whatever offer you want to create, you have got to go actually sell it. A potential customer must see a message at least 7 times before they'll be provoked into taking action. So don't just talk about your offer once. Don't talk about it twice. Don't like pop in, once every 6 months and be like, guys, I have a coaching offer. And then just like ghost completely. You have got to be getting that message out there. You can use Instagram, you can use blog posts, podcasting, speaking at networking events, speaking in other educational groups, and so much more. But you got to sell it. You got to sell it. And I want you to hear me when I say this, because I see so many of you thinking, oh, I can't do this right now. I don't have time right now. I created my very first one-on-one structured coaching offer in 2021. I was still a full-time wedding photographer when I did that. And then in 2022, I created my first signature program while I was photographing the most weddings I have ever done in my entire career. I created an entire program while I was photographing weddings all over the mountains and all over the country. It was crazy, but I was still able to do it. You can do it too. You can absolutely do it too. It doesn't need to be off season or when things slow down sometime. You can do it now. You can do it now, just one step at a time. And I'm here to help you. I really am here to help you. I'm cheering you on, and I'm so proud of you, and I'm so excited to see what you create in the next year. It's going to be absolutely incredible. Imagine how many people you are going to help with whatever your offer is. I hope you found today's episode helpful, and I would love to hear your thoughts. You can send me a DM on Instagram if you found today's episode helpful. I would also love for you guys to share this with your industry friends. If there's anyone else that you have in your network that's like, oh, this person would really get a lot out of these podcast episodes, share it with them. Share the love. I hope that you guys have an absolutely incredible week. Until next time, I'm so proud of you, and I will talk to you very, very soon.